Assalamualaikum and welcome back to my video presentation on problem-based learning. In this presentation, I will be sharing in brief an assessment model practiced in problem and project-based learning at Aalborg University, Denmark, and some guidelines for adapting PBL assessment into outcome-based education or OBE curriculum. Problem and project-based learning assessment at Aalborg University, Denmark. Problem and project-based learning, or sometimes called the project organized problem-based learning, or POPBL, has been implemented since 1974 at Aalborg University, Denmark. In this model, a group of students work closely in managing and completing a project over an extended period of time, taking a problem as a point of departure for their work. The students' mutual support is essential for the successful completion of the project. The group work includes aspects such as knowledge sharing, collective decision making, academic discussion, action coordination, and mutual critical feedback. Students group also engage in close cooperation with their supervisors and with external partners, for example, businesses or other project groups. The curriculum framework, supported by the supervisors, aims at ensuring that students' project work is exemplary as regards both content and approach. Exemplarity implies that learning outcomes achieved during concrete project work are transferable to similar situations encountered by students in their professional careers. This requires that the students understand the context of the problem and the scope of the conclusions reached by the group. The exemplarity of the project ensures that through their project work, the students will acquire knowledge and competences which are applicable in a wider context than that of the project itself. Within the framework and objectives of the curriculum, the students are largely free to choose the content of their own projects and thus to determine key elements of their study program. At the same time, students are responsible for a considerable part of their own ongoing academic self-reflection. A critical self-reflection as regards the quality of their own work effort and basic knowledge of a given problem is an essential objective for students engaging in problem-based project work. The group is supported by one or more supervisors serving to ensure that the work undertaken by the group meets the requirements stipulated in the curriculum. However, the students themselves are responsible for their cooperation in the group, as well as for the organization of the learning process and the course and outcome of the project. The project work is completed by an examination which assesses a student's individual performances in the project work. Emphasis is on the assessment of the individual student's knowledge, skills, and competence. The assessment takes place in connection with the student's presentation and discussion of their project, including the approach taken and the results achieved by the group. All group members are present for an examination involving the group's supervisors, as well as an external examiners. The students are assessed individually. During the examination, the examiner will focus on the quality of the project work, including the extent to which the individual students have acquired the learning objectives of the project module as stipulated in the curriculum. In basic modules and elective modules, students are assessed individually. When planning the examination, the structure that best supports the assessments of the module's learning objective will be selected. The effectiveness of PBL is subject to formative and summative assessment and evaluation processes that involve faculty members, students, and administrators as appropriate. The main characteristics of assessment procedures implemented at Aalborg University are as follows. 1. Assessment is conducted in a group setting. 2. Examiners guiding the group assessment process. 3. Project-related coursework is assessed within the context of the project work itself. 4. Academic work is assessed according to documented policies, procedures, and learning objectives. 5. Students are assessed individually based on contribution and mastery of the learning objectives. 6. The institution engages students, faculty members, and other stakeholders. 7. The result used to improve the study programs. 1. Assessment of a student's group project is conducted in a group setting and stands as the main assessment method. All group members are present for an extended examination involving the group's advisor, additional faculty members from the institution, and faculty members from other universities. 2. Examiners guiding the group assessment process and pay careful attention to exploring not only the quality of the project work itself, but also to determining the extent to which through the project work students have achieved the broader learning objectives and have developed an understanding of the larger theories, concepts, and issues as they transfer to different applications. 3. Students' project-related coursework, which is project courses, is assessed within the context of the project work itself. The problem as formulated by the students and the subsequent project work are used by examiners as a lens for determining those aspects of the project courses that are relevant to assess. Forms of both formative status seminars, peer evaluation, supervisors feedback, and etc., and summative assessment, including portfolio assessment and etc., may be implemented. The greater portion of assessment activity is dedicated to formative assessments, which are designed to develop students' abilities to provide feedback to others and assess their own progress. Alignment as well as validity and reliability are to a great extent important goals. 4. Students' academic work, for example, study courses, is assessed according to clearly documented policies and procedures and learning objectives. 5. Students are assessed individually based on contribution and mastery of the learning objectives. Though conducted in a group setting, students will most probably receive appropriately differentiated individual grades for their contribution to the project work and their mastery of the stated learning objective. 6. The institution engages students, faculty members, and administrators in the assessment and evaluation of a study program. These activities take on a variety of forms. For example, student course evaluation, group feedback session, and etc., and are conducted during and at the end of each term. 7. The result used to improve the study programs. The institution can document the incorporation of study program assessment data in the decision-making processes related to administration and improvement of existing study programs, as well as the development of new study programs and procedures in relation to the context of the problem and project-based models. All-book assessment PBL assessment model is highly suitable for the problem and project-based learning. The assessment is not only about the student's content and process of learning, but also about integrating the contextual experience and industrial collaboration. Institution would certainly be able to expose students to direct real-world problems and experience in the industry. Adaptation of a PBL assessment in existing OBE curriculum. Many institutions and schools did not have the opportunity to design the curriculum according to the PBL requirement. In outcome-based education curriculum design, the basic requirement is learning outcomes, not the problems. Although the assessment had transformed from solely focusing on the content of learning to the outcomes of learning, the traditional assessment procedures still mainly preserve. The familiar multiple choice, true-false examination, and facts recall of short answer and essay writing tests are still in practice. It was therefore a great challenge for teachers at schools and lecturers at universities, polytechnics, and colleges to apply PBL and using proper PBL assessment procedure. Based on our experience of implementing PBL at Malaysian higher education setting, PBL practitioners should find a creative way to use PBL assessment procedure within the stipulated OBE design curriculum. Among the best way is to adopt PBL assessment in the OBE curriculum through the transformation of existing assessment on soft skills or essential skills and the formative assessment of a student's group and individual assignments. Assessment on coursework such as on the group assignment, project implementation, presentations, discussion, and brainstorming session focusing on the essential skills such as thinking skills, communication skills, teamwork and collaborative skills, as well as moral and professional ethics are among the most relevant to be transformed through the utilization of PBL assessment procedures. Some universities and higher learning institutions place a higher portion of mark on the process of learning, up to 60 to 70%, especially on the coursework. Some courses had even carried 100% mark on the coursework. Again, PBL assessment is not one size fits all. PBL practitioners and institutions are free to design their PBL assessment model to suit their needs and curriculum requirement, as well as their educational goals related to the students' competencies. Thank you very much for your time and kind attention to my presentation. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like and share this video. If you have something to share, please leave the comment below. Have a great day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.